Sea Fever by John Masefield. I must go down to the seas again, to the lonely sea and the sky. And all I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by. And the wheels kick and the wind's song and the white sails shaking and a gray mist on the sea's face and a gray dawn breaking. I must go down to the seas again, for the call of the running tide is a wild call and a clear call that may not be denied. And all I ask is a windy day with the white clouds flying and the flung spray and the blown spume and the seagulls crying. I must go down to the seas again, to the vagrant gypsy life, to the gull's way and the whale's way, where the wind's like a whetted knife. And all I ask is a merry yarn from a laughing fellow-rover, and quiet sleep and a sweet dream when the long trick's over. I must go down to the seas again, to the lonely sea and sky. And all I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by. And the wheels kick and the wind's song, the song sung by the wind. And the white sails shaking. The sail is what, when the wind hits it, it makes the ship go. When the wind hits the sail, it shakes. And a gray mist on the sea's face and a gray dawn breaking. Not a lot of color, not a lot of pretty sunshine or pretty colors of a sunrise. Everything is very gray, like it often is in winter where I live. The sun doesn't shine very much. It's gray all the time. I must go down to the seas again for the call of the running tide. The tides of the sea, when the ocean ebbs and flows, the tides come in and the tides go out. The call of the running tide is a wild call, wild, and a clear call that may not be denied. He cannot say no to the call of the wild. He must answer, he must go. It's calling to him, and he must go. And all I ask is a windy day with the white clouds flying and the flung spray, the spray from the ocean, the spray, the wetness of the ocean, and the blown spume, again, the spray. I think of spume when a whale does his thing through the blowhole. I think of that as a spume, a spray of ocean water. And the seagulls crying. I must go down to the seas again, to the vagrant gypsy life. Vagrant gypsy, a person who wanders the earth, doesn't settle down. To the gull's way, to the way of the seagull, the bird, and the whale's way, the way of the whale, where the wind's like a whetted knife. A whetted knife is a sharpened knife. So the wind is as sharp as a knife that has just been sharpened. It's cutting wind. It's cold, brutal wind. Probably similar to the wind outside today when I went snowshoeing. It was cutting, cold. And all I ask is a merry yarn. Merry, happy, lighthearted. Yarn is a tale, a story. Sailors are known for telling yarns, stories, from a laughing fellow-rover. He wants to hear a yarn, a tale, a story from a man that he is on the ship with. A man who laughs a lot, a joyful man, a merry man. And then he wants quiet sleep and a sweet dream, nice dreams, when the long trick's over. Trick is sailor talk for a watch, which means a shift or a period of duty. So a trick is the time that a sailor spends on duty, keeping watch over the waters, making sure that the ship is going in the right direction. And I love that poem. And I want to thank my father, Bill. He suggested that, and it probably wouldn't have been one that I picked, but I'm so glad that he suggested it because I really like it a lot. Sea Fever by John Masefield.